What's next, Jeff? Go ahead.
Well, we got some huge and monumental news here. Glenn, I know you like me to send you Billy's show to watch over the weekend, but you might not have time this weekend because Chad from the Two-Man Power Trip, from our own Triple Threat podcast with Shane Douglas, and myself are returning to Get My Go this weekend. So make sure to catch that episode, guys.
Why did you edit that up? Make sure you edit that out, Vince.
I thought they were pulling the plug on Get My Go.
No, where'd you hear that?
They're still making fun of the same guy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Francine, I can tell you something funny. So Jay is a big fan of a certain show that I have done multiple appearances on that we have promoted on here inadvertently.
Get My Go?
Get My Go, baby.
My go, yeah.
It's the only show he was ever a guest on. So how did I know that?
Stop. That's not true. It's the best show I've ever been a guest on.
But more than that is Jeff Lane's numbers are doing more than anybody on his shoot on the fake Christian preacher from the Get My Go heat. So it's hot takes on Thanksgiving all the way around. You got all the big ratings.
And he just walks away. And Lane Smith gives a look to Theo like, oh, he got your goat. And it's like, oh, did you forget 2 seconds ago? When on this show, we say he got your go. Oh, so always remember that. Why? Making fun of this shitty podcaster.
What makes that show so great, Jay? Sell me on it.
Okay, so the guy that they make fun of, it just says a lot of ridiculous, entertaining things. Well, they're entertaining because they're ridiculous. And
I like that.
What a weird subject. Anyways, on to the email. Man, I must be drugged out of my gore. That's the only way to explain my monumental dickheadery when I shore up the topic to the man who thinks wrestling is real there, man. Speaking of which, do you know what really gets my go? Why it's go that my gets got with. Speaking of my got go, I hear it's the show sweeping the nation on YouTube. It's hosted by Mr. Mike Dorbano and my best friend in life and in the bedroom. Whoops, did I say that out loud? Well, anyways, I'm talking about the great Husey. Hello. Thanks. Cousin Marky Mark. And no, I'm not Mark E. Mark. I'm his cousin Mark E. Mark. Hopefully that cleared that up for you.
Yeah, that show's got itself quite the cult following now.
Yeah. What's
Go.
it called again?
Get My Go. Before we started recording, Rich was telling me how he heard people in the MLW locker room discussing the show and how much they enjoyed it.
Yes. Yep.
Can't give any names, but it's sweeping the wrestling world.
It is. Oh, and he's got orange wrist tape too, Taz. Really getting your goat.
I remember the episode Chad was on. He was promoting a podcast with Dan Severn, and he was going to do all these things with Vampiro and another guy.
John Arezzi, JJ Dillon, Francine.
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah, remember I told you last week. He said he that you should dump me and go with him when we went to the branch.
Right.
Okay.
None of that happened.
No.
Not even close. And this guy thinks he's the shit, right? It's such a laugh.
I need to go on this show, I think.
Oh my God, that would be great.
And of course, this weekend, guys, catch me on the Get My Go show. Chad from Shane's Triple Threat podcast will be joining me, Joe Feeney, and Mike Durband, and they're going to debut the new theme song, which I've heard, and it's tremendous. The new Get My Go theme song. Durbin plays the music, and the lyrics are quotes of this guy, that John guy's quotes make up the song. Dude, my favorite quote. This guy really said this about podcasting. I don't do this because I love it. I mean, I love it, and that's why I do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, get strapped in. We're about to have some fun. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and go.
Get My Go. Huge and monumental. Get My Go.
We're 130% transparent all the time.
Get My Go. My numbers have gone up 248%. Get My Go.
You want to enjoy some sex with some men? I made the money in the business. I made Vince McMahon $150 billion. Am I right, Mr. Broso?
Bro, it's probably even more than that, bro. Way more than that, bro. The company went public after me, bro.
Well, I thought he was supposed to be me, but now he was Vince, and then he said, "Isn't that right?" Like he went to Vince. Does he forget which character he's playing here?
He does, yeah.
Very Anger. That's that anger that's coming out, that he's, he sees what Vince did with his career. He wishes that he could do it. He wishes he could have that connection. He wishes he had the ear of Vince McMahon the way that Vince did, but he can't. He just can't do it.
I would copy what Husey has said quite a few times. I think he just thinks that he should replace Jeff and take, or that's what he thought at this time. Just replace Jeff. Be the co-host of the stuff and edit and upload and handle the social media and the Patreon and all. That's what he thinks he should be doing. Yeah. So you're just in his way.
Want to replace me? He wanted to replace me with Francine, apparently. So just go down the line, why don't you?
How do you think he did that without my work, bro? I am the true hero. Oh, show, bro.
Wow, I'm telling you, he really let us down this time on the scam.
There are probably 100 "Wow, I'm telling yous" from John. That's how he starts every phrase or every news segment that he's on. So
have I ever said that?
That's just him. It's not a.
Yeah, like I mean, he's himself trying to be me, but he's still himself.
Yeah.
This is going to be tough. He's in legit hot water right now. He's going to get heat from the scam and from us here, almost as bad as that no good, no talent ass clown John Wangland. There's literally, he's in that boat right now.
Bro, don't bring up reality of wrestling, bro.
Those guys at the reality of wrestling just can't do shit like us. He's about going to, in my book now, I'm telling you, since he can't fork over to you, he's insulting you. He's saying mean and nasty things about you, in my mind, by not doing it to you. He's putting it up on YouTube, bad things about you. Even though it's not directly related to you, it's somebody else. It's about you because everybody knows it's about Mr. Broso. So this might be a permanent ban. He's almost in John Wangland level heat and hatred that we have towards those types of people.
Yeah, I noticed Jeff looking like, and I'm feeling the same way. Like, I have no idea where that was going. Like, we've talked about the compliment sandwich, but I think that like some of the stuff John does is like a sentence roller coaster. It goes here, it goes up, it goes around a wild turn. Next thing you know, you're upside down, and by the time it's over, you don't know what happened. And that sentence that he just used, I don't know what he was trying to say at all. It was completely, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well, so I'm losing.
No, I feel like it's a joke though, because he said he made a YouTube video. It wasn't about you, but we know it was about you. If he's referencing the one, it was only about.
It was all about.
Yeah, I'm so confused on this.
Well, I heard somebody that's trying to get the rub from you. I heard they've been borderline kissing your ass, kissing your feet, sucking on your pee-pee, trying to do the same to me because I know they always got my back.
This is the Joe and Husey part.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Sucking on your pee-pee.
Pee-pee sucking, big time.
Come on, they're not gonna call us that we're copycatting them. Is that what's gonna happen here?
You'll hear it.
Come on.
I know you got that Mike Fizzle guy from the Not Creative Control Network, and he looks up to you along with that other guy from Ireland. What's that Irish kid's name that thinks he's funny?
It's Husey. Hello, it's Husey. Hello.
Well, very good impression of him there, I'm telling you. But Mike wanted to talk to you, Mr. Mike. Wanted to talk to you, the head of the Not Creative Control Network. Because he's the top independent podcasting network in the world. We all know that. Mike, are you there?
Yes. Hello. I'm here.
Mike,
yes.
Mike, can you speak up a little bit into the mic?
Yeah, I speak lowly. There was an email on Raven Show this week that said something like that. Like, I was like, I understand it in the 2020, like a deep masculine voice is very offensive. So, and especially to John. So I'm sorry, buddy, that I speak, with a little bass in the voice there. But I will say this, I'll accept defeat because once you take Creative Control Network and you turn it into the not Creative Control Network, I've already lost. So.
And here's where these insults make no sense. Because first of all, neither of you guys have ever tried anything that he just said. You don't even do what we do. You do your own thing, audio free modeling. We do video paid content. So it's not even the same thing. He says the Irish guy that thinks he's funny. Read everybody that listens to the show.
Yeah.
Everybody else thinks Husey is funny. So when you're making fun of somebody that's actually funny by saying they're not funny, you're not funny because that makes no sense.
Hi, how are you going? Yeah.
Mike, we're happy to have you here, man. Me and you, Mr. John Lame and Mike.
It's Husey. Hello.
Oh, Husey, nobody wants to hear you talk. Just sit in the back there. I know you can't keep your mouth shut for more than 20 seconds. Just sit back here. Let the big boys talk. You know, I'm talking to your boss, to your daddy here, because I know, like Troy, you know, Mike Fizzle over here, head of the Non-Creative Control Network, is your daddy here, man. Mike, how you doing, man? Tell me, talk to me here, man. What's going on?
I'm doing great. I obviously am a world-class producer, and I produce podcasts everywhere, keeping it 100. I do all of Conan's shows. So yeah, I'm hugely successful and hugely popular. So you know, I get great inspiration from you, Vince. You do great things. Yeah.
Okay, up until the inspiration from Vince thing, everything he said was factual. So where is the parody? Where is the insulting? Yes, Joe is successful. Yes, Joe produces those shows. What's the joke?
I have no
It's
idea.
a tribute show. It's a tribute show. It's not a parody. So you just ran down, just the same way you literally gave Jeff's Patreon name out, just completely. It literally just started to go down Joe's Rolodex of credits. You put over Husey as funny, which he is. He's a huge talent and I think very underrated in terms of this podcasting world. And you're literally this is a tribute show. You guys should all be. I'm actually feeling a little left out. I mean, you guys should all be very. You should be very honored.
At this point, it was basically the beginning of the end and the beginning of all the fighting and whatnot. And the thing was, and I know I've covered this a little bit on the show before, but like he left Creative Control and like told me about it and called me, and all I did was, say it was cool, answer his questions, give him advice and stuff. And then just for a few months later, it would turn into somehow we copied John's ideas and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I basically like gave him the easiest blueprint ever to start up his fucking thing, and I couldn't teach him to edit, obviously, but I always thought that like that's the only thing that ever pissed me off, really. Yeah, you copy us. What, dude? Like I basically, unfortunately, Creative Control basically gave birth to Reality Check. And that's one of the great regrets of my podcasting run so far.
You can speak up louder and more clear into the mic a little bit with your big boy voice. I know this isn't keeping it 100, where they only let you talk when they want a sideshow act and just to get somebody else to talk for a minute. So you can talk here. It's okay. We're not going to censor you.
Didn't Conan tell you to talk more, Joe?
Yes. Yeah. Why am I a sideshow act? I don't know what that like. I'm the third guy on a show with Conan and Disco, and I got to take my lumps. That's what it is. I knew the fucking gig before I took it. And
I mean, is that supposed to be an insult? Again, you're on the show with those guys.
Yeah.
Like, where's the insult?
And I'm playing my role, dude. That's what, maybe if you were able to laugh at yourself and take some lumps, you might have had a little bit more success.
Yeah, and when they need something to be, and from what I've heard, when they need something for you to fill in, you legit fill the, hey, what's this story about, blah, blah, and you go, oh, well, this happened a few years ago. You literally fill in, and then they go back and forth. I mean, this is what a successful show model is, and this is how people bounce and play off each other, and why the wrestlers who do these shows need people in key spots, and literally that's what they use you for on the show. They, hey, Joe, what's the story? I don't know it, and then boom, and there it is.
Well, bro, you're doing great things with Conan.
Bro, so can I talk here, please? This isn't the fucking disco show.
That fit perfectly, actually. You should be able to know who somebody's making fun of without them telling you. You should be able to know who they're parroting. How in any way, shape, or form is that Joe Feeney? If they didn't say that that's who they were making fun of, I would have never guessed in a million years. You should be able to know who they are making fun of. It's so bizarre.
The other stable of beauties over there, man. But Husey, what's the question you wanted to ask Mr. Broso? I know you've talked before. He vowed he never wanted to do your show because you were obnoxious again. But we brought you on because you're a supporter, and your daddy Mike always does stuff for us.
Well, I should be a big fan of Vince Russo, It's usually hello. And I'm a big fan of the Mr. Russo, It's such a fan. I just wanted to ask, the most obvious, the question that would change podcasting forever, that went a little bit Scottish there, but the question that I need to ask you, Mr. Russo, I got to ask you, who let the dogs out, bro? Who let them out? Who let those dogs out, bro? Bro, I don't know.
and Hughes, I feel like that was a funny bit on Keeping It 100, and then people treat it like, oh, that's such a letdown when Hughesy asked Disco that. But he was playing off a promo that Disco did in WCW where he said he had the wrestling that was going to change, news that was going to change wrestling forever. I think they were in Australia, and he comes out and he's like, all right, here, I'm going to give you the news that's going to change the face of wrestling. Who let the dogs out? And where they at? Or I'm going to ask the question that's going to change wrestling, whatever the fuck it was. So it was just a repeat of that. And, it makes sense if you think about it. It wasn't just a stupid question because he didn't have anything. He was referencing something that actually happened.
Who let the dogs out?
And where are they at?
And why aren't people looking after these dogs and searching for them?
I heard what happened to Troy. Can you be my dad now?
It's Husey. Hello.
Husey will be your dad because Lord knows no other woman would give him a child.
Ooh. There he goes insulting. They do that a lot. Him and Martin both. They insult people that don't have children. It's like, that's not an insult. Not everybody wants to have kids. Yeah. Not everybody should have kids if they can't afford them.
I mean,
and need to have a handout every week.
Husey sometimes keeps his personal life like a closed book. He's not like he doesn't tell Mike Rye a lot of stuff. I don't think he talks about himself too much on the show, but from what I know, quite frequently is with the same girl. He's got a girlfriend. I don't know why that even needs defending. It doesn't, but it's something that John always brings up, and it's just, again, it's an indication of his own insecurities, really. So.
Well, I'm telling you, he needs to go pound down a couple more drinks, sniff some more coke, do whatever the hell else he's doing here. He's got to get back to the mean streets of Ireland.
There's the drug counselor insulting someone's drug habits and drug use.
Right, because in old DMs, when we thought John was a buddy, at least he was fine or whatever, that Husey would talk about what he's doing that weekend. Yeah, I'm going to be partying for a couple of days after this concert and whatever, just shit that guys talk about. And again, anything that you tell John in confidence, he turns around against you. So, which, I mean, I personally don't give a shit because whatever I say, privately, I would probably say publicly. And Husey has talked on his own show about getting fucked up. So this isn't any kind of revelation, but I don't know. You're exactly right. The drug counselor and psychiatric counselor or whatever, again, shaming someone for their own behaviors, which is, I don't know what fucking school he went to, man.
And whatever episode it was a few episodes ago, when you guys played that video conversation, he's clearly tweaking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's clear as day. So, I mean, you're insulting people for what you possibly do?
Yeah. And the one episode, it was before you came on, Jeff, but Mike might know it off the top of his head. I don't remember. John's speaking in a real low, slurry voice. He's on vacation.
Yeah.
Like he's recording from his fucking closet, but he is fucking drunk out of his gore on that one. He really, I remember,
because it's none of their goddamn business.
I remember recording it. You can hear me go like, he's fucked up, man. I can't do this. Because it's so embarrassing that he released it. I couldn't believe it. I was fucking hearing it. He's so fucked up there. And I don't know, pretty much everybody, unless you're straight edge, doesn't mind having a drink on occasion, so what the fuck? What is the joke?
That was a great episode. Was that geared all at Vince? That one?
Vincent. That was I think that was the rant, right? The when he was on vacation in the little one of the 6 vacation homes before the epic
brony of the week.
I do got to say though, because you guys mentioned the early episodes, and I know there's a lot more people that listen to the show now than when you guys started it, obviously, but the view counts on those episodes are still lower than the new ones. So guys, if you're new, there's so much gold in those episodes. You guys got to go back and watch them. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason those view counts are so low is because originally they were put on my personal YouTube channel. So there was several hundred views on the first, I think 6 or 7 episodes. And then when I started the Get My Go channel, I started fresh. So I uploaded them in order. So that's why those early ones are like maybe 200 or 300 views. So,
but how much have you talked about why there is a Get My Go channel anyway? Have we done that? Have we talked about that? Probably in the beginning.
Well, I mean, I wanted it separate. I mean, I didn't want to have it on my channel because like if I'm trying to get like an actual name guest, right now I'm in talks with Charlie Chaplin's grandson to come on my show. I don't want him to go into my YouTube channel and seeing 24 episodes of get my go before anything else, you know?
But what I mean is when we recorded with Rob and Richie and about those guys leaving, and then you and Husey recorded a parody of his goodbye episode, and then we started rolling after that. But originally those shows went up on your podcast on Spreaker.
Yeah.
But for some reason, one was taken down and then put back up, and there was just a lot of, I mean, I don't know the kind of guy that would be complaining to Spreaker all the time and saying that you're slandering him and threatening lawsuits. Who would do a thing like that? So that actually led to it becoming a video show. And first it was on your YouTube, like you said, now it's on its own. But really, this show is a product of again, John being a noodle.
Yeah. Okay. Like, wow. Okay.
And it could have just been like a podcast once a month on the Mike Durbin show or whatever. And Mike would have had to put a lot less work into it.
Yeah.
But now, because of him being a buffoon and trying to report us like he always does and stuff, and trying to cost people their networks and their providers and sponsors, it grew into a video show because of John. So again,
if he didn't try to get that audio episode taken down off my feed, and then the one after that, we probably would have been doing it once a month, maybe. It might have even died out. But the thing with me, John, is if you push me and you try and take away something that I've done, I'm going to push back 10 times harder. So when you try and call Pro Wrestling Tees and get my shirt taken down and you threaten legal action against them, I'm going to go ahead and make even more shirts, more designs. I'm going to bring it to a whole new level. So again, the more you push back at me, it's going to return upon you tenfold.
Yeah. So Mike is like an angry dog.
Not even angry. It's just like
he's got a bone, and he's not you know.
Yeah. But it just shows how smart he is too to his business, because you're smart to separate the channels, because God forbid you got taken down and you're in the middle of trying to get that guest and all your content's gone. It's just smart, but that's why you do what you do, because you know what you're doing. So that separates the podcast cosplayers, or whatever I said the last time.
So I've been with Spreaker a while. Mike's been on there with me. Everyone that's on Creative Control Network is on Spreaker. And John sent an email about the show and saying that we're causing trouble for him and slandering him and this and that and this and that. So some of my contacts over there initially took the episode down. And when I emailed them back and sent them some of the things that he had said about us and whatever, they put it back up. So it was never a matter of Spreaker is forcing us to not do this. I chose to take it down so I wouldn't put any of my other shows at risk, which obviously that's the smart thing to do. Yeah. And so, so if John ever makes if he thinks that he was the reason or whatever, he wasn't, dude. I just made the decision to keep it separate. So, and then Mike made such a great video show out of it. Everything has actually worked out as it should have. So thank you.
Thank you, John.
Almost as riveting as the major top 5 list on It's Husey Hello of the Velvet Revolver albums. We all know that that's amazing shit. And you guys brought it over here, and you made magic at the brand. Jeff Lane thanks you.
Yes, and we're going to be doing the top 5 Toto songs coming up soon, so that's going to be great.
All right. Well, I'm going to cut that off right there because nobody understands what the fuck you're saying all the time. And
Excuse me, hello.
That's another mistake, because people like talking about music. They like talking about what music they like. They like trying to convince other people why this is good and why this is bad. And I always had fun doing Husey's top 5 lists. I've talked music on Creative Control a lot when it was around. And now it's actually moved on to where Conan does top 5 song lists on the Patreon, and people love it. We did about 2 hours and change about Prince, Mike?
Yeah.
With Conan and a couple other subscribers. So his insults stink. And if I'm not mistaken, I think at some point John did a top 5 song of somebody on his own fucking show. So, he was trying to steal it, but it's just goofy, man.
Jim Johnson, the wrestling theme guy.
What was Husey supposed to talk about? I mean, should he just do a Nitro watch along every week and get fucking dirt sheet news wrong? I don't understand.
You should have done top 5 tag teams. I'm sure that was a hit.
All right, so we are going to close the great Castrating the Bros out for this second episode of it with a tweet from online. And I picked this along with 14 Marks in a Cup, Patilla the Hut, Dean Galloway, Rob Francois, Johnny Podcasting, Bad Biscuit, and, of course, the one and the only It's Husey Hello.
Husey Hello.
Jesus, that guy just always finds his way to pop in our heads. Are we hearing shit, or is that guy still here? I thought we got rid of that mook.
Mook, is that an Irish slur?
I don't know, but that was true to life because that guy keeps popping in my head. Like that's accurate. Like I think he thinks about Husey way more than he should.
So I think what this is, it's supposed to be the final castration, Jeff, that you do. He's using people's real names and then mixing it with the parody name. It's very, very odd.
It is.
I'm sorry. A mook isn't as a derogatory term for an Italian person. Just so everybody knows.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm excited to see the video at the end now because I want to hear them putting themselves over after this.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So this part, I'm going to skip through most of it. It goes on for about 5 or 7 minutes on the show, and it's them reading a tweet, and I've heard it twice already. It makes no sense. I don't know what they were trying to do with it, so we're going to skip most of it.
I'm telling you. Well, we're going to finish the show. All these people sent it in there, and here it is for you folks. This was a tweet Mr. Broso put out this week, and it was in response to the downgrading of the shows, the completely declining numbers, and
I think they read an actual tweet that Vince put out. I think that's what this is, and then they're going to rip on Vince.
You know what I wouldn't be surprised by, Mike? I think this around this time was like the genesis of the what am I thinking of? The download farms or whatever. What do you call them?
Click farm.
Click farm. Yeah. It's because they always wanted to talk about how high Castrating the Bros shows were rated. I'm sure that he did a little something for Severn to get it pushed up. And I think everybody, here knows that the charts can be a good reference, but they're not accurate really. They haven't figured it out yet. So even if you're in the top 10, you're probably getting really good numbers, but maybe not necessarily than some other shows that for some reason are not recognized by Chartable. It's just fucked up. They have no idea how to do it. There's no real way to say how many downloads you have or verify them. Everyone's system is still a work in progress. But I think around now is probably when he started fucking with that because he wanted his shit to be on there so that he could then turn around and say, yeah, Dan Sever's got the third most popular podcast in wrestling.
So Mr. Broso made this wonderful tweet, and we're going to hit on some of the responses of these morons underneath him, on this thread. And Mr. Broso wrote, with all the shows I was responsible for, there was never a decline in ratings for 4 straight weeks, including WCW. And that's facts. I'm just going to say that is facts of it. That would have been totally unacceptable on my part. My question is, anybody being held accountable, that includes you. So reason I read that tweet and all these other people sent it in was because the mean comments people were making at Mr. Broso about this was awful. He's a legend in his own mind, and he changed the world of professional wrestling forever in his 5 years in WWE and WCW. We know you did, Mr. Broso. How did it feel when these people made these comments that I'm going to read off in a minute about you underneath?
They're marks, bro. They're marks.
Marks.
Simple, bro. They've convinced themselves that this shit is real, bro. They are marks, bro.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you anymore there. It's just really scary, man. Well, what's really scary is some of these comments that was made here. And I'm going to read a couple of these comments, out to everybody in just a moment, because I think that it was disgraceful what they were doing here. And
are you not prepared there, lame? Is that the problem here? Why don't you have these tweets up ready to go, bro?
Everybody knows I'm always prepared.
Lame,
I'm telling you,
that's the only borderline funny thing I've heard on this episode. Like seriously, that could have, that wasn't that bad.
But
or you're not prepared because you didn't have the things up, that. But what I mean, this whole ramble thing, like I'm trying not to fall asleep here.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically that comment they just made about that, doing the impression. They are the antithesis of the obsessed wrestling fan. Like this exactly the comment that they're making fun of is exactly what they are, because they cannot separate the reality. And I'll take the other guys out of it because again, they've redeemed themselves. But he is the absolute, like the prototypical obsessed fan. He can't get this shit out of his brain and move on. So yeah, he would be offended back talking about songs a few minutes ago because he can't stop thinking about wrestling 24/7. And this is the stuff that bothers him.
Jeff, I'm thinking of sending this in as entertaining audio to Castrating the Marks.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Bro, best rub of the game, bro.
All right. Hold on. Let's get these up, guys. Second.
Dude.
Okay. Where are they all at? Hold on. It's fine. All right. Here we go.
Wow.
Well, I'm telling you, some of the response.
That's awesome.
Very easy to cut that out. Very easy.
Simple. Yeah.
Responses for these people was just made me sick, as you are my hero and my mentor, Mr. Broso. I love you just like almost as much as Troy does. Well, this guy Albert puts to you, he goes, "You're a fucking idiot. McMahon is the one who decided what was going on."
So the next 5 minutes are just
real
John reading actual replies to the real tweet, and it's not funny at all. I don't get where they were trying to go with this part.
Bro,
I'll put it on Patreon, bro. Maybe I'll get Vic Venom to read it, bro.
How much will it cost? How much will it cost to go view this on Patreon and get to associate with the wonderful Vic Venom on our new podcast? Because we got booted from Westwood One now, just like we got booted from Podcast One, just like you've been blackballed from every part of the business here. We are bringing it for Lies with Consequences right on over to Patreon, and they can read this here too.
Jeff.
Yeah, we did not get booted from Westwood One. He chose not to renew the deal with Westwood One.
Well, it's ironic because as we've covered here, John would fucking take these guys on a ride through every podcast provider available and constantly say he was switching because this one's going to pay more ad revenue, or this one he doesn't trust the numbers, or this one, whatever. And it was every 6 weeks they had a new home, and clearly, wasn't the move of a stable guy or a stable network of shows. And again, projecting, they had, by this time, they probably had a few homes, but within the last year, they jumped to pretty any podcast provider you can name. That's where they were. And they never were on Podcast One or Westwood One, and never would be. So, yeah.
With this thing that you and Vince were talking about, the back and forth, the dialect, how much does it cost to go see this beauty at work that you got on your Patreon account? Who is Vic Venom?
Bro.
Oh my God.
Bro.
Legend, bro.
A legend of what, bro?
The wrestling business, bro.
Why would people want to listen to Vic Venom? Explain to them.
The gloves are off,
Please
bro.
don't.
The gloves are off, bro. Vic Venom says things that I can't say, bro.
That's just worth the price of the Patreon right there, just to be able to see this stuff. I'm telling you, that's the type of quality stuff that we bring out to you each and every fucking week. Oh, can I say the F word now too?
Bro. Gotta put it on Patreon, bro.
The F word listening to John Lame is going to be on John Lame Plays for only $1. You can hear me say fuck over and over again, but you're not going to get fuck over and over again, but you're not going to get it for free here. You got to go to the Patreon. You got to put $300 into that tier, and there you can hear Mr. Brusso say, what are you going to say, Mr. Brusso?
Brusso now.
Oh my God! And he's making fun of
up again.
But sign up to our Patreon with me and Vampiro.
God.
I wish we had the tiers of the Vampiro Patreon. I wish I had that.
They were some funny shit. Yeah.
There was some pretty high tiers. I'm like, it's like he's mocking people's successful Patreons, but he tried to do the same thing. It just didn't take off.
I always thought that he's going to make fun of the Vic Venom name and character and all that, even though he's actually been in the magazine and on television and whatnot. But his alter ego, Johnny Podcasting, that's pretty much, he can, I remember hearing him say once Johnny Podcasting's on, the gloves are off, shit like that.
Hey, it's all right, man. I'm Johnny fucking Podcasting for a reason.
We know that he's got every issue of WWF magazine where Vic Venom's column was the column to get, because that was the only time you read anything that wasn't in kayfabe. Yeah. So he's still got every stack of magazines from 95 sitting in his basement there.
I loved the Raw magazine. I was a big fan of that, especially with Sonny and Sable on the cover.
And you can hear me say fuck. Easy. $300 only. I'm telling you, we just give them a deal. We're legends in our own mind. I'm telling you that, aren't we, Mr. Broso?
Fuck, bro.
I'm telling you, Well, folks, I gotta say it's gotta. Well, folks,
they're cracking themselves up here. They think that they've achieved comedy gold with this episode. Oh, God. You're gonna see at the end when they talk. You got to see it.
So good.
They thought it was so good, man.
this here wraps up another riveting episode of Castrating the Bros. That's pretty interesting stuff. I don't know how I'll top that. All I know is I can top it, and you can support me on Patreon again at John Lane Plays. I can top what Mr. Broso just said there because it's only $1 a month, and this content is worth anything more than what Mr. Broso said. We're fucking looking at 77 Tetris is going in the books. We're going to be playing some fucking DuckTales over and over again.
DuckTales again.
You got it there, Mr. Broso. And if we're lucky, we're going to pull out the old Nintendo track game and the whole track thing that you'd have to run on Nintendo. I don't run it all in my life because I'm a disgusting fat body. But
oh, jeez,
he's calling Jeff a disgusting fat body. But
I guarantee you, he weighs more than I do.
Yeah,
like I said before, he's pushing 260 right now at least, and there's some definite boobage going on there. He likes to wear bright shirts. No, John, you got to put a black shirt on, buddy, or we can see what's going on there.
And he's short too, so it's not helping.
Yeah, and these jokes make no sense. Like he's naming real things, but then he doesn't even know what to call them. He's like, "Oh, the track thingy that you use the thing for."
Oh yeah, there's
the track thing you use the thing.
There's a lot of fat pictures.
There he is. This guy.
Oh boy,
can't even wear jeans anymore. He can only wear sweatpants in public.
I think somebody stops him like, "Oh, dude, I love your show."
Yeah, that's what he's looking for.
So that's all I'm going to say. We do it all on John Lame Plays every single week on Patreon, only $1 a time. Well, guys, we're going to be back tomorrow for
only $1 a
That's
dime?
Not Life because only $1 a time. Well, guys, we're going to be back tomorrow for That's Not Life because it's the most important show of the week where we tell you a bunch of great stuff, motivational things that I do not practice and follow, and neither does Mr. Broso. And it's the most important show, isn't it, Mr. Broso?
Now, he modeled a show of his own after That's Life, and he's admitted to that publicly many times. But here he is mocking it.
Of course.
And we will be doing those in the future. What were they called?
The Road to Redemption?
Well, there's Road to Redemption, which was its own podcast.
Yeah.
And then he also did Motivational Mondays, which were on the Reality Check.
Wow.
Those are, oh my God, those are beautiful. Those things.
Bro, it's the show that I care about, bro, the most, bro, because it's not wrestling at all, bro. It is about life, bro, and I will be judgmental on other people, bro, while doing the exact same thing myself, bro.
Wow. All right. Well, folks, come back and check it out again tomorrow. And we appreciate you guys listening to Castrating the Bros, episode 2. Only here on.
He ended it with his normal ending of a show. Who's that? Brad Armstrong?
Brad Armstrong.
Yeah.
He loves that song.
He loves it. They use it at the beginning and the end of like 80% of their shows. Oh, man. They couldn't even. This was like a special episode for them. They couldn't even think of a different song. Like maybe, I don't know, man. There's so many options.
Yeah.
Why not use Vince's theme song from WCW or something? If you really wanted to get the vibe.
If the very creative young man Mike Durbin was behind this, I guarantee you he would have taken that opening bit on the brand shows. Welcome to the brand.
Yeah.
And just recreated it and put the scam. Like that's what you do to make something noticeable and funny and unique and clever.
Yeah.
You don't just throw a blanket over your other show and this is totally a different show now.
The Reality Check Podcast Network. Bro.
Oh my God. There it is. That's it.
Can your body go backwards to like being drunk from the night before? After excessive like trauma? Because I don't know how all of a sudden I started feeling last night again and it's almost noon or it's afternoon. And I'm sitting here being like, oh my God, I think I went backwards.
Like an acid flashback.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm very woozy right now too.
All right, the video.
So yeah, here it is. This is probably a few days later. This is Rob and John kissing each other's asses, saying how great it was. praising each other, and they're just in amazement at how great it was. Here it is.
Sorry, Rob.
I mean, he's look. He looks like a chipmunk, and he's calling me fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I had the thing with the phone calls. I had to squelch it up because it was so low on the thing, so I amplified it huge so they could hear it because it was too funny not to hear it all.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, no,
it was funny shit, man.
It was really. It all came out good. It was a really good show.
I've got like 12 messages already about it.
Did you really? Yeah. I can't stop listening to the No Show. I don't even know how the fuck I did that. I went to a whole different fucking place I've never went to before. Once I put that mask on, I fucking transformed, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, I cut out the majority of Rob as Grappler Ocho.
Yeah.
That was a lot. There was probably 20 minutes of that, so I took that out.
There was just so many good spots to the whole show again.
Yeah, I love the Bluetooth stuff.
Oh, it was all good. It was all good. The only part I cut out was the Conan part, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to come say we were being racist.
No.
Love to hear what that was.
I have some ideas.
Yikes. Hey, so can I just ask a question about the microphone he uses? Are they like 1999 like Logitech? You know, you go to like Staples. Is it too close to his mouth? That's what makes the lisp come out. You know, like I'm trying to get why the audio sounds so tinty. Is it because they're just cheap ass? You know, like they come with your portable keyboard or something. Like what the hell are they?
I don't know. He's been doing it a few years now. You think he would have tried to upgrade at some point, especially when you want to put out other people's content. You should want to do a good job with it and polish it up a little bit if it needs it. You want to sound good. It's like I'm a podcaster. He just decided like he doesn't work for anything. You can't just tomorrow go, I'm an airline pilot. I'm a cop. You know, everything requires some kind of at least a little bit of knowledge and planning. And it was just funny. He just saw literally. This isn't a pat on the back. He saw me doing it, and he was like, I could do that. You know, and he saw Jeff and Vince doing it and took some from them. He took some from Two Man Power Trip, and he put it into this little bowl of shit.
Huge bowl of shit.
Huge bowl of shit. Well, the cracks were starting after this. Right after this, Vampiro disappeared, and Severn disappeared, and Bang and Dang left, and it just kept going.
Yeah. Well, Jeff and Chad, I apologize again for making you sit through all that, but just know that I sat through the entire thing, and it is brutal. We only heard about 40 minutes of the hour and a half mess. So
you probably cut out all the good parts. That's probably what happened.
Yeah. But that clearly shows that people that aren't funny shouldn't attempt to do a parody if you don't know how to do a parody. There's nothing anywhere in there that was a parody. They were either going way too far one direction with saying stuff that you couldn't even tell who they were, or they were saying factual things that like there was no parody anywhere in that entire episode.
No. Do you think Vince has heard about these episodes?
I have no idea. No clue. I'm sure people tweeted it to him, but that doesn't mean he even read it or knew what it was, because I don't honestly think he knows all this stuff that went on.
No, I'd have to think that if he knew and either got the information from watching some of these episodes, or whoever would tell him. I know you tried to explain to him that he wouldn't be like, yeah, why doesn't everybody just make up? No, never. There's no benefit to that whatsoever, and they don't deserve it. So
no.
I'm just kind of at a loss right now. I'm like soul searching. I don't know what else to say, because it's just that it was just so unimpressive. It was so like it was such a bad attempt at not only humor, not only audio production, not only like the bit, like the phone. If he thought the phone thing was good, I'd like to know what he thinks is bad. Okay.
I'm so woozy right now. My brain is like empty. It's been
energy drained.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I can sympathize with Husey. He says it all the time, and I sit there and go, no, how could you not be into these shows? They're so compelling. They're so great. I can sympathize 100%, because that is like taking you through the ringer. It's but I loved it. I loved every second of getting a hang.
He's been in self-imposed exile since October 24th.
Yeah, that last day we recorded with Husey was the Halloween episode. Then we did one after it. I think that really took a toll on him. He just said, no, I can't do anymore. So, all right, Chad, tell us about all your stuff. Where can we find you?
Sure. Well, I appreciate all the plugs for my website, IB Exclusives. It's where I do a lot of private autograph signings with the holidays coming. Have a lot of stuff going on post December, but if you're looking for anything specific from any kind of baseball player, I've got a couple wrestling things coming up. Actually, I'm announcing this weekend. By the time this comes out, it'll already be announced. I'm doing a private signing with Kurt Angle. January 28th. Yep, going out to Pittsburgh, going to do a private signing with him. So what happens is you can send in items to me to get signed by Kurt, and then I send them back to you after the signing's complete. And I'm going to do this special thing. If you use the code GMG at ibexclusives.com, I'll give you 20% off whatever you want to order for the signing. How about that?
Wow. That's awesome.
If you want to check out the podcast, head to Twitter. It's at ChadEMB. You'll find on there links for Eyes Up Here with Francine, which we do on Patreon, and it's also an audio form on Creative Control over the weekend. Of course, go to the brand to check out the Triple Threat podcast with the franchise Shane Douglas and my partner JP from the TMPT Empire, where all our podcasts are on tmptempire.com. All the interviews, Dr. Tom, my show, New Generation Declassified, and everything in between. And my baseball podcast is called Diamond Conversations. Going to take a little break, pick it back up in January, a little season 2. So yeah, check everything out there. Again, ibexclusives.com.
Jeff, we heard all your plugs during the Castrating the Bros. John gave them all out, but go ahead and give them to us again.
Yeah, everything I do, russosbrand.com. And I do have my own things on the side, twitch.tv/JeffLane22. You can come hang out with me while I play, I guess, DuckTales 6 and some track thing. And you can also...
Do you have that? Do you have that power pad still?
No.
Love the power.
No, I never had those as a kid. I always wanted the glove, but I'm glad I never did because that would have been a waste of freaking money. It would be cool to have now, just as a collector's item. But
yeah.
Also, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/JeffLane22. I review Raw and SmackDown on there, go through Lost, and do some video games. Starts at just $1, guys, because that's all I'm worth. So check it out.
All right. Well, Chad and Jeff, you are two of our honored guests.
What about my plugs?
Oh, you got plugs, Joe? Go ahead.
I thought I did that on the show. I don't know. Do I usually do it?
Sometimes when you talk about your wish list.
Oh yeah, don't be afraid to go into the the most recent Creative Controls, which that's not too recent, but in there is a link to an Amazon wish list. You can hear me every Thursday on Keeping It 100 with Conan, and every Monday on The Raven Effect. And you can hear all the Creative Control Network shows on Spreaker. As Chad mentioned, Francine's show is on there. Shane Helms, Kevin Sullivan, Mike Durbin, Husey. There's sports shows. There's a Ring of Honor retrospective show and everything you could be looking for. And there might even be coming very soon a partner network to Creative Control Network that would have some huge and monumental names.
Huge and monumental.
Keep an eye and ear out for that.
Well, if this episode drops on November 21st, which it probably will, there is a Black Friday sale at Pro Wrestling Tees right now. 20% off everything. And if you want to be on Castrating the Marks, there's a very easy way to do it. That's how I did it, 3 years ago. You go to prowrestlingtees.com/ is it just Jeff Lane?
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
Yes. And you can buy a Jeff Lane t-shirt, and then you get to go on Castrating the Marks. That's how I got my start in this whole thing.
Well, Vince, for this next clip, we have a special guest. Mike Durbin. How you doing, Mike?
Bro, look how freaking impressive. Look at this freaking guy. This is what I want to see on my TV on Monday night. Now, if Mike Durbin comes out and starts walking to the ring, he's got my attention. Look at this freaking guy. Mike, I love characters. I love gimmicks. You look like a freaking $1 million.
Everybody, get a Jeff Lane t-shirt. Get a Dexter the Cat t-shirt from Joe.
That's right. Mark World Order, Crazy Eddie.
Yeah, or you can get a Mike Durbin shirt. Can't get a Get My Go shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees because somebody's feelings were hurt and they called and they claimed that I was bullying and taking money away from them. Huh? Yeah, I was using their trademark of the Punisher skull from Marvel. Come on, John. But if you do want a Get My Go t-shirt, which about 25 people have got them already, you have to message me privately and I get them printed at another company in bulk, and I will get them out to you. So just DM me and we'll get that. So
phenomenal.
Yeah. All right, guys. Jeff, Chad, Joe, thank you guys.
Thank you.